Okay, so this is our comparing of the box plots activity we would have done together as a group. Well, notice we have on the box plot provided, we're going to estimate the values of the maximum, the minimum, the median, the first quartile, and the third quartile. So notice, remember, our minimum is the lower end of the whisker, the first quartile is the box, the median is the line through the box, the third quartile is the upper side of the rectangle, the max is the upper whisker, and we have an outlier. Now notice it also says we're going to approximate these values as well. So here are approximations. The minimum is around 10, the first quartile around 13, the median is 20, the third quartile about 40, the maximum 67, and the outlier about 90. Now, is it okay if you believe the maximum is around 66? Yes. If you approximated it to be 65, would that still be okay? It's a little dicey, but 67, 68, 66, any of those would be acceptable. So the next question says, how do the quartiles divide the data? Think about it. So if we look at our sample answer, remember the quartiles, they give the range of the middle half of the data, or it divides the distribution into quarters. Okay. And the next question says, what is the range or the IQR? So in this case, our IQR is approximately 27. Remember, you'll take that third quartile minus the first. In letter D, it says, what is the range for the lower 75% of the data? Well, the lower 75% of the data would mean everything below the third quartile, right? 3/4, 75 cents. So the range of the lower 75% of the data would be 40 take away 10, which in this case would be 30. And then if we look at the next question, it says, what is the shape of this box plot? What? Oh, how does that do that? Okay, what is the shape of the box plot? The box plot we would say is skewed to the right. And does the box plot display any outliers? Show your work to support your answer. Ugh. Super. Okay, so remember to show our work, we have to do our fences. Okay, so what you should have learned in your video lesson the last time I saw it, or you were in class, the lower fence, we would take the 13 minus the 1.5 times 27, that's our IQR, and we do get a value of negative 27.51, and we type that into a calculator. The upper fence then would be 40 plus 1.5 times the IQR, or 27, which is 80.5. Now, because our 5-number summary, like our original data values, extend beyond the range of 80.5, in between, negative 27.5 and 80.5, we do have an outlier. Okay, so what that means, we have an outlier, yes. One outlier near 90 because it doesn't fit between our fence values. Okay, and so anytime you do a box plot, this is how we verify whether or not we have outliers. And then in letter G, how do you expect the value of the mean to compare to the value of the median? And then justify your answer. Take a second to do that. So hopefully you've learned that the mean will be greater than the median since the distribution is skewed right. Let's look at another problem. So if we look at our table, we have a table of selected American and Japanese vehicles and their weights in pounds. And notice that we have 2 box plots representing the previous table of values. Now, what students typically struggle with is putting their thoughts when they're comparing 2 distributions. And this could be in a stem plot, it could be in 2 histograms, it could be in parallel box plots, into words. So if you noticed, I graded your warm-up/exit ticket, And a lot of scores were really lacking that comparative language. So we need to go back in and look at some ways to do so. So note we have our box plots here, and we're just going to fill in the blanks for these statements. Okay, so complete the following sentence to compare the centers of the two box plots using comparative words such as greater than or less than in the context of the situation. Okay, this is critical. The approximate median weight of an American vehicle is, okay, so see how it says give the value. So the approximate median weight of the American vehicle, American, notice we have our, label here. So our American median is approximately there. And we can say it is about 4,200 pounds. Make sure you give a unit, which is, meaning comparative word, heavier than the approximate median weight of a Japanese vehicle. So our median for the Japanese vehicle would obviously be this guy here, this, line. Looks like it's around what, 3,400-ish? And that's it. Now we can move on to the next one. To this slide here. Okay, so remember this is all of American vehicles. So then this percent, remember it's going to break our box plot into quarters. So hopefully you're still looking at your box plots. We are again going to complete the sentences to compare the spread of the data shown in our box plot. The middle 50% of the Japanese vehicles lie between approximately, so I'm going to look for the start of where the box is. Looks like it's around 2,800 pounds. And the upper end looks to be approximately 4,000 pounds. Compared to the middle 50% of the American vehicles that lie between approximately, American vehicles will say 3,400 to 4,800 pounds. And that's it. Well, it says we see that blank of the Japanese vehicles weigh less than all of the American vehicles. Okay, so blank of the Japanese vehicles weigh less than all of the American vehicles. So if we were to go back, say our 28%, or 25%, sorry. So now we're going to complete the sentence to compare the shape of the two distributions. So it says both Japanese and the American box plots appear to be slightly skewed toward the heavier vehicles, meaning we can say slightly skewed to the right. For both American and Japanese vehicles, the blank 25% of vehicles has a larger range than the blank 25%. Okay, so if I want to know which has the larger range, that means the top 25% of vehicles has a larger range than the lowest 25% or bottom 25%. So if we look at letter D, it says we're going to complete the following sentence to compare any unusual features on the data. Okay, so if you look back at your box plots, notice we have one outlier for the American cars. So we can say there is one American vehicle that weighs noticeably more than all vehicles. And in letter A, what information can be gained from the table of values that is not available from the box plot? Take a second and think about it. So in our sample response should have been that we can actually find the mean, the standard deviation, the 5-number summary, and the outliers. So now in letter F, using the information developed in parts A through D, write a short article for your school newspaper comparing the weights of the Japanese American cars. So you would just put all those statements together. So note we're going to try more. So notice we have the box plots for the number of floors and the tallest 50 buildings in New York and Chicago. So let's zoom in and take a closer look. Oh. Okay. And it says we're going to, in each of the following sentences, include a specific reference to the situation being described by these box plots. And in letter A, we're going to write a sentence based on the box plots that compares the center of each distribution. Take a minute and try. So you should have said something along the lines that Chicago and New York have almost the same median, something like that. You can even state that Chicago is a median of about 58 floors, while New York has one of about 57 floors. Now I want you to take a second and write a sentence based on the box plot that compares the spread. The spread without the outliers for New York is about 30 floors, which is less than the spread for Chicago, which is about 50 floors without the outliers. We use that comparative language. We use comparative words, less than. Next, I want you to write a sentence based on the box plots that compares the shape of the distribution. Hopefully you recognize that both the shape of New York and Chicago appear skewed to the right. Now I want you to write a statement addressing the issue of outliers. So something along the lines that New York has 3 outliers near 90, 101, and 110 floors. And Chicago also has 3 outliers near 89, 99, and 108 floors. Last, you're going to write a concluding summary about the difference between the number of floors in Chicago and that in New York. So essentially all you would do for letter E is you would take the statements you have for letters A through D and merge them into almost like a paragraph. Let's look at another one. This time we're talking about the Highway Loss Data Institute rated 4-door cars based on the number of personal injury insurance claims. Lower numbers means a better safety record. So note we have our 3 box plots, and each of the following sentences include a specific reference to the situation being described by the box plots. So you're going to write a sentence based on the box plots that compares the center of each distribution. Try it on your own. Something along the lines as follows. The distribution of personal injury insurance claims for small vehicles has the largest center of about 120 injury ratings. Mid-sized vehicles were less with the center near 90 injury ratings, and large vehicles had the best safety record with the center near 68 injury ratings. Notice we use comparative language like largest, less, best safety record, or least. That implies we have context and we compare all 3. So we need to also do that now for the spread. Take a second and try it. So something along the lines that small vehicles had the largest spread of about 85 injury ratings, mid-sized vehicles had a spread of about 45 injury ratings, with large vehicles had the smallest spread of about 20 injury ratings with an outlier near 100. Again, we have our comparative language. We have each of the approximate spreads. Notice we use the word near or about because we don't know for sure. Now I want you to compare the shapes. Try it. Hopefully you said that both small and mid-sized vehicles have a fairly symmetric or approximately symmetric shape. Large vehicles appear skewed to the right due to that high outlier. The next question asks you to write a sentence addressing the issue of outliers, which we've already pretty much covered in letter B. You just have to state that large vehicles have the only outlier near 100 injury ratings. And then to write your concluding summary, We can practice that too. So take a minute or two and try letters D and E. So here's an example of a concluding summary. The distribution of personal injury claims appears that large vehicles have a better safety record. Large vehicles have the smallest center and spread. Mid-sized vehicles are second choice. They have a higher center, 90 claims versus large vehicles, 68. Mid-sized vehicles have a larger spread, 45 claims versus large vehicles, 20 claims. Small vehicles appear the least safe. They have the largest center of 120 and the largest spread of 85. Okay? Next, I want you to do a 10-minute timer, and I want you to try this FRQ from AP Exam 2015.